regret the day you went away. I was too young to understand my love, but now I realize my mistakes. Yes! Shout out to all my Janice stands out there. What's going on YouTube? It's Kevin. I hope you guys are having a great night. I'm having a great night. You know, I had me a couple of cocktails and stuff. So I'm waiting on my mom to finish this Sunday dinner so I can finish this video, eat my dinner, and watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I wanted to get on YouTube and talk to you guys because I wanted to talk to you guys about, you know, what recently went on in my life. And I know I talk about these celebrities and everything, but I don't want to talk about them tonight. I want to talk about my life because I want to help somebody somewhere. I know I'm going to want to help somebody with this story that I have to tell. It's not a long story, but it's a cute story. So if you don't want to hear it, click off this video. But I know you want to hear it because you're sitting here listening to it. But because I know you seen it say, bitch, get it right. Miscommunication leads to complication. And that's what went on for me these past couple of months, 3 months. So please make sure you start this video off by clicking that thumbs up video, and make sure that you share this video on Facebook and Twitter. Also, if you're watching on your computer and your television, screen cap it, tag me on Instagram so I can like your photo. So I'm going to go back to when I turned 29, the weekend I turned 29. My friends threw me a surprise birthday dinner, and it was a great birthday dinner. It was, you know, it was a dinner where everybody that I loved and everybody that I want to love showed up at the table. My friends set me the fuck up. Okay, they really did. But long story short, it was a great birthday dinner, and I enjoyed it. So after the birthday dinner, we go to the next venue, which is called Uncle's. It's a place that I like to go to in Philly. Yes, it has an older crowd, but the drinks are good. And sometimes the older man buys you some drinks. So anyway, you know, my best friend Brandon, he is buying me drink after drink. Like, Kevin, I got you. And my mom, you know, before I turn up this weekend, she's like, Kevin, don't turn up too much. She didn't say don't turn up, but you know, she's like, don't get like that, because you know how you start seeing stuff and everything. I'm like, all right, I'm all right. I got this. I'm all right. Should have listened. Anyway, Brandon got me tore up, okay? And you know when you drinking wine and drinking champagne and drinking Long Island iced teas and mixing Patron, that is a recipe for disaster. If y'all remember that Monday after our video, me and Mikkel, not after, the Monday after my birthday weekend, you know, Mikkel and I was talking like, yeah, it's such a great time and blah, 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 blah. And I didn't intend to tell y'all how I really got turned up. But Mikkel's like, yeah, you know, I heard what happened and everything. So I didn't even talk about it. I'm not going to tell you everything that happened anyway. But I'm going to talk about that day, and then I'm going to talk about what happened afterwards. So, you know, after we got real turned up at Uncle's, by that time, I remember we was going to go to XO. That's the spot to go on Saturday nights. If you ever in Philly and you like the gay scene, come to XO. It's at 15th and South from 11 to 3. So anyway, I knew that we was going there, but on the way there, I kind of blacked out. I don't remember being at the club, but I know I was there. I don't remember what I said to anybody. I've heard that, you know, I did some stuff, not bad stuff, but, you know, I heard I did some stuff. And, you know, I was just real turned up, okay? I was turned up to the max, let's just say that. And the week went by, and I called my friend Eddie, because this is who I'm talking about, my friend Eddie. I didn't hear from him that whole week, like, bitch, I enjoyed your party. Hey, what you doing? You know, how are you? But I didn't hear anything. So that Saturday I called him, and I was like, I wanted him to come out because I was on my way downtown. But I didn't hear from him. He didn't pick up his phone for whatever reason. So I didn't hear from him the next week. I mean, I want to look at the calendar. I didn't hear from him the next week. No, I didn't. So I texted him that Monday, and I was like, hey, Eddie, how are you? Didn't hear back. when I didn't hear back from him that Monday, in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I must have said something to him while I was fucked up. Because, I mean, let me tell you, something y'all don't know about me is that when I get too turned up, sometimes it could be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. And that night, it was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. So, I might can have a flashback of when you did me wrong and I never told you about it, and, I'll let it out. But, Eddie didn't do anything to me or to ever make me feel like I need to get on him. I need to curse his ass out. He ain't never in a while, make me feel that way. And I just couldn't think of why the hell we're not talking. So, weeks went by and I was like, I guess he don't want to talk to me. I must have did something to him really bad. And, the weeks went by, and then I seen one week that he posted on his Facebook that, one of his relatives had passed away. And I was like, well, I know he's the last person that want to hear from me. He ain't trying to talk to me. He don't want to hear what I had to say, because I must have said something to him that was really hurtful, and we didn't even get past that step. So I'm like, I'm not calling, I'm not texting, I'm not saying nothing. I left it alone. Then when my friend Jarrell came in town from London, something I didn't tell Eddie when we talked, which I'll tell y'all now, is that while we was in the club, when we got to the club, which was the Saturday after Christmas, I seen him, but I didn't want to approach him. Because I like to be in corners. Oh my God, I'm telling y'all this. I like to be in corners because I like to watch. I like to watch what's going on, see what people are doing in the club and stuff. So I seen him. He was walking my way, but he was walking towards the exit. And when you walk towards the exit, either you can go outside, you can go downstairs, or you can go leave where the bathrooms are. And I was expecting him to come back. And then one of my friends is like, hey, Kevin, Eddie here. And I'm like, Eddie here for real? I was acting like I didn't see him. And because my plan was to ambush him later. Like, well, damn, bitch, why you ain't talking to me? What's going on? Like, did I do something? But come to find out, he was leaving out to go home because of another incident. He was leaving to go home. So I'm like, all right. Well, I text him, hey, Eddie, I heard that you was in the club with so-and-so. I wanted to see you, but, it's all right. I hope you have a good holiday or whatever, and I'll talk to you later. Normally we text, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. We didn't do none of that at all. So I went to Atlanta, had a great time. I turned up. And I texted him. And I was like, look, bitch. Something like that. You haven't talked to me in a long time. Like, what's really going the fuck on? Why you so mad at me? Why you won't talk to me? So, he never texts me back. Never texts me back. And then, recently, let's say this past week, I was on YouTube. I was looking at some videos on YouTube, and then I found this video on YouTube with Oprah and Whoopi Goldberg. And this was the first time that Whoopi Goldberg was ever on the Oprah show. And they sat there and they discussed their issues. They was like, I didn't speak to you for such and such time because I thought that you were mad at me because of so-and-so. And, they both were saying the same thing. And then people was like, then they were saying how people said, oh, Whoopi mad at you or Oprah mad at you, blah, 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 blah. Whatever the case may be, they thought that they hated each other, or somebody said something about, how people just stir shit up and it really wasn't nothing. And they really thought it was. And, Oprah got to crying, Whoopi got to crying. And then when Whoopi was like, not Whoopi, Oprah was like, there's many people going through this, and I don't even know if it's men going through this. But if men going through this, pick up the phone and call somebody. So my black ass. I picked up the phone while I was downtown because I know my friend works downtown. So I said, I'm going to call him. So I called and I got the voicemail. And then once I got into the bar with my friends, I got a text message. He's like, yeah, we need to talk because I thought you was my friend. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck did I say? I don't even know what I said because I know how I get when I'm drunk. My tongue will cut you the fuck up, okay? I will read you. I know me. Either you got the happy side or you got that evil side. I know you don't want to see the evil side. Nobody wants to see the evil side because I will cut you. My tongue is a sword. So anyway, during that time when he texted me back and said that, I was like, what could I have said? I've been thinking this the whole time. I had a lot of thoughts and I was like, he hasn't done nothing to me, so I don't feel no way. So what the fuck could I say to make him feel this way? So he was like, the storm came, which was there Thursday. The storm, I wasn't seeing nobody. Valentine's Day was Friday. I was like, well, maybe we can meet up during lunch. Because I was trying to get him to come to the bar where I could talk to him. Because by that time, I didn't have a drink. But I wanted to see him. And I didn't want to text. I didn't want to talk on no motherfucking phone. He going to tell me, well, I'll text you when I get home later tonight. No. I don't want to talk on no phone. And I don't want to text. And the reason why I don't want to do that is because I need to see you face to face. Whenever I have an issue with anybody, I like to talk face to face. I cursed Dennis out before because Dennis got on me one time and he wrote me a letter. Bitch, fuck that. Don't write me no letter. I want you to tell me how you feel face to face. That's how I've been with everybody. And I've never had that problem out of Dennis ever since. Whenever he have a problem with me, he tells me face to face. Because I respect that. Ain't no kissing my ass because I'm your friend and I'm on YouTube and, none of that. No, I want you to tell me the truth. That's how I am with everybody. And that's how, y'all know when I had my fallout a couple months ago, I was like, I was like, I want to talk to you in person. I don't want to text and I don't want to do that stuff. I want to talk to you in person, but, That's just the person I am. I'm not gonna say anything else about that. But y'all know that was the past. But yeah, and that's the last friend that I ever broke up with in the past forever in a long time. Like I've never had a personal breakup like, fuck that bitch. I ain't never talking to that bitch again. Never did that in my life. Never in my life. That was the first time and I hope the only time. And I hope that me as an adult and me and my friends are adults because I don't do kids. That we can talk as adults. So that Friday I was like, are we meeting up or what? Are we meeting up? He's like, well, which was Valentine's Day. He's like, you know what? No. What are you doing tomorrow? I said, I'm free as a trick. All right, well, let's meet up tomorrow. It's snowing like a motherfucker yesterday, but I didn't care. So, we meet up in front of the Old Navy because, I had to get my shopping in because the sale's going on. So we talking and, we meet up and I was like, well, damn, you act like you don't miss me. I was like, well, I damn sure miss you. And then we hugged each other and oh my God, don't get emotional. Oh, this shit is just making me mad thinking about it. It's making me mad a little bit. All right. So we hugged each other. And we walked through the gallery, which is downtown Philadelphia, a little mall that you really don't want to go to. So we walked through the mall, and I'm like, I want to get something to eat, bitch. I want a salad. Like, I really wasn't hungry because I had 8 breakfasts. I didn't tell him. But I had 8 breakfasts, so I wasn't that hungry. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get a salad. So he was like, well, we can go to the Renton Terminal Market. We went to Renton Terminal Market. If you ever in Philly, you got to come to the Renton Terminal Market. It's an indoor farmer's market. You would love it. There's food of every kind, anything you can think of It's all inside the rental terminal market. So we went to one place and then we went to another place. And the other place we went to, there was chairs where we can sit down and talk. And, Eddie begins to tell me, he was like, I thought you was my friend. And then he went through, I'm not one of those people in your life that you think that is your friend because they was a fan. He's like, I'm not none of that shit. He's like, I really thought we was friends. And I hate the fact that you probably think of me as some fan because, bitch, I ain't your fan. Like, Eddie went off. And I'm sitting here like, okay, what the fuck did I say? That's the point that I wanted to hear. I'm like, what did I say at your party? Because I'm like, Eddie, I don't remember what I said to you at my party. So can you tell me what did I say about... Look, it's not about the party. It's not about the party, he told me. And I'm like, well, what the fuck you mean it's not about the party? He's like, well, can you don't say nothing? Let me say what I got to say. And I'm like, all right, I'll let you say what you have to say. So he's telling me this like I ain't just no fan from no YouTube. Like, I've known you from a long time ago, and you shouldn't be looking at me like I'm no fan from YouTube because I'm not that. And, then he was like, when my cousin died, like, you didn't even reach out to me. He was telling me all of this stuff. And, all the pain he went through. He's like, all I could do was think about how you cried on that phone when you was talking about your nephew and how you felt and how other people didn't feel. And now I'm sitting thinking, this is exactly how I feel. And then my heart just was like, oh my God. Once I finally found out, he told me that, he's like, you were fine at your party. Of course you was drunk. He said, Kevin, I know the good you and I know the bad you, and you were fine. He's like, the only reason why you was mad because Dennis didn't want to take you to get something to eat after the club. And I'm like, he's like, but other than that, you didn't say nothing to me. You didn't do nothing to me. But he also brought up the fact that he thought that I was probably upset with him about us not moving in together. He's like, I thought you was probably upset with me that we didn't move in together because, I got you running around doing this and I'm running around doing that. But I told Eddie that week, when I knew I wasn't moving in, that I'm not upset about that. I was trying to help you out, I wasn't even mad that I'm not moving. Once I had that dream that I shouldn't move, like I had a dream that I moved and I didn't have no money and I was real broke, and that was terrible. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be in that situation. So that same day I had that dream was the same day he told me that, the other person had found somebody to move in or whatever. And I was relieved that I didn't have to move. So I wouldn't be mad at you about me moving. Some of the stuff, I'll tell you one thing that went through my mind. I thought I probably met his new roommate and got mad because at one point, me and Eddie was talking about moving together, and then we didn't move in together. We didn't move in because he had found somebody else. I guess after I dragged my feet, that did hurt me a little bit. But we've been past that. That was years ago. So anyway, he was just telling me all of this stuff. He was telling me that how I wasn't here for him when his friend died. His cousin died. And he was like, I would have thought, I thought you was my friend. I thought you would have reached out to me and you didn't. I thought you would have called me, texted me, wrote me on Facebook, did this and that. You did absolutely nothing. And while I was relieved, I didn't curse him out. I knew exactly how he felt. But I was like, I thought I would be the last person you want to hear from because I cursed you out at my birthday party. And mind you, now, while he dealing with his grievances and everything, my family had a passing too. And I didn't hear from him. My cousin died in the beginning of December. We had the funeral and everything, and I didn't hear from him. That also went through my head, but I didn't judge him because I wanted to hear him out. I wanted to know why he was still upset with me. So he was like, Kevin, I wasn't even mad that I wasn't talking to you. You know how we are. You know, we don't always talk every day. We don't always talk. Sometimes weeks can go by and everything. Like when that first Friday didn't, like when I texted him that Monday, he didn't text me back. That first Friday came, he didn't text me like, hey, you know, let's go out. It's first Friday, anything. And I didn't hear from him that whole month of December. Then January, I didn't hear from him. Then February, I didn't hear from him. I'm thinking like, wow, I must have did something really bad not to hear from him. And I'm like, it just was fucking me up. So when I seen that interview with Oprah and Whoopi Goldberg, and they was talking to each other, and then they found out like all this shit was just a big misunderstanding about nothing, because you had Susie and you had Susan just making up bullshit on why we're not together and why we're not talking, and it's just a miscommunication that led to this big ass complication. You know, and I told him how I felt about everything, but I was really relieved that I didn't say nothing bad. But I also felt bad because I didn't reach out when I should have. Just said like, you know, I know we going through our shit, but you know, I hope that, you know, we can talk and you know, we could be cool again. Like I didn't reach out and do that, and I learned from that mistake. Even no matter how bad, you know, you argue with somebody, you know, even if it's death in the family, you should reach out and say something. And what hurts me is that, you know, I didn't know how close they were. Like that was his first cousin that was killed, and that they grew up together, and I didn't know any of that. But even on the strength of that's your family member, I should have reached out, and I didn't, because I thought he was so mad at me, but he ended up being mad at me because I didn't reach out about his family member. And, you know, and he thought that I was upset with him because we didn't move in together. Like, that's crazy. Like, that don't make no sense at all. Like, we went all these months without talking to each other over misunderstandings. And I'm just saying this to y'all, like, if you have anybody, a friend, a family member, you know, that's the only two things I could think of, or a husband or a wife. If y'all having misunderstandings, talk it out the first time it happens, so you don't let all of this time go by without talking. And I'm glad it's only been almost 3 months and not no year and years and years of bullshit, you know. And I thank Oprah for just, you know, I know she didn't post. No, it was on her website. No, it was on YouTube, and then I went to the actual website to see them talk it out. But I'm just so glad that, you know, I found that video. That was God. You know, I found that video, and, you know, I can learn through, you know, what her and Whoopi went through, and then I can say, you know, I talked to my friend, and then I can talk about it, and then, you know, I'm helping somebody else out. But it's never worth losing a great friendship over nothing, and you don't even know why you're losing a friendship. That's terrible. You don't ever want to be there at all. And I love the fact that we sat down as men and we talked about it. It was no alcohol involved. You know, it was just us talking and not being temperamental. We just came together because we are friends. And I want that to be a lesson to, you know, all of these shows. You know, you can have confrontation and not fight. You know, be a grown-up, be an adult, and just talk about it. You don't have to dig at each other, throw glasses and drinks in each other's face because you are disappointed in someone. Listen. The other side has to listen to the other person. You can't learn anything by over-talking each other because you're not hearing what's being said. And I'm glad that we both sat there and we talked about what happened, and then we realized that we missed so many months together over a big misunderstanding. I'm thinking he mad at me over something I said at my birthday party, and he thinking I'm mad at him because we didn't move in together. And in that process, he lost a family member. I lost a family member. We both didn't hear from each other. He was really upset with me on the top of me not talking to him because we didn't move in together, but that was one of his close family members, and I didn't reach out. It didn't mean nothing to me that he didn't reach out to me because of my family member. You know, I'm not going to dig at him because of that. I'm bigger than that, you know. But I'm glad that we had a chance to talk it out and that we are cool again, you know. And if I ever had this problem, first of all, I'm never letting this problem happen again. You know, if I did something, let me know. If we can't be cool, we're going to talk it out, and then we're going to part and go our separate ways. That's just how it's going to go down. But I say all this to say that I hope I helped somebody out. And if you are going through this, there's nothing wrong with picking up the phone to find out what's going on. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.